Hello, crafty friends. Hi, Betty, Gozel, and Kim, and Alice, and Adeline, and Brenda, and Mary T, and Andrea. I'm not sure if I missed anybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody. But welcome. That was a little squeaky welcome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, hello. Must be a pretty big lag today. There they are. Hi, Kathy. Yep, Teddy's in here. Hi, Betty Gozel.
Hello, hello.
You guys ready to do some crafting? Can you skip the ads on my screen so I can see where I am in relation? Welcome, guys. Hi, Betty McSorley. Welcome, guys. Got me out of the shower again today. Oh, well. Carol. Hi, Carol. Welcome, guys. You guys just get me like I am, you know. Today we're going to do some radiant roses. I would show you the contents of our kit, but I haven't built it yet. But, hi, Stephanie. Welcome. But we do have card samples, so we're going to build those. And I can show you roughly what's going to be in our kits. We're going to do the kits differently this time because I'm behind, and it will allow me to catch up. And it will also allow us to really maximize our supplies. So let me move these out of the way and let me show you a little bit about what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is, since these are both from the same collection, we're going to start today with the Radiant Roses kit. Next week, we're going to do the Butterflies kit, which I assure you is absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to use the same materials on both kits so that we can use the same embellishments. So we'll be able to send you'll each get a pack of these. So you'll get the diamond sparkle strips, and you get the diamond sparkles, and you'll get the sparkly black ribbon, and that will just allow us to be able to kind of stretch things out here. And ultimately, I think it will be less expensive because we are using one kit for both. So that's what I'm doing. Yes, Betty, multitasking. Absolutely. Absolutely. Holy cow. It has been a crazy, crazy, crazy week at Simply Special. I'm telling you. Between yep, there's Rocky again. Did you guys bring your boxing gloves? Between the Black Friday sale and Black Friday stretching over into Saturday, and then the party and all those orders, and the party sales wrapping over into Sunday, and Cyber Monday, and Cyber Week, we had an unbelievable number of orders in, which I'm not complaining about. I'm quite grateful for, actually. I love that, and I love the fact that you guys clearly had a good time, and I love that too. But it was an amazing amount to process with a skinny team. I say skinny team only based on the number of people in the team, not my personal state. But anyway.
Say hello to Deborah O'Brien.
Hi, Deborah O'Brien. I didn't see Deborah O'Brien. Oh, she's up there. Hello, hello. Hey, Carol, I'm not sure if I said hi to you yet. And yes, I do have your snowman kit, and I'm going to send it to you separately just because I didn't get it to you earlier. I finally got it from Brittany, and I do apologize for that. But the great news, guys, is with 306 orders to get out the door as of this week. 306 orders to get out the door. Every single one of them. Hi, Mary R. Every single one of them, with the exception of, let's see, who's Diane's and Betty's, who are still shopping. Every other one is out the door. So your goods are winging their way to you as we speak. And my staff, my hubby, my Margie and Brittany and Lauren, even Lauren got into the act a little bit. We got all of those orders out the door in a week. So wahoo for my team. They are truly, truly amazing. And so I'm not way far ahead of you in crafting, but like Betty said, we'll just multitask and we'll get the job done. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm setting this one aside for today. Can Teddy come over and say hi before we get going? He looks like he wants to settle in over there, but Teddy's going to come and say a quick hi. Bryce has him cornered in his lap. Teddy got in trouble with his daddy because he didn't come when he was called. Oh, we don't need to get on the table, do we? We do need to get on the table? Okay, sit. So you can be seen. Sit and be seen. Oh, you. Okay. All right. There we go. Yes. So, yep, he got in trouble with his daddy. So he is snuggled up to his daddy over there trying to make sure that he's still loved. And there he is. There's my boy. Yeah. Betty says your buns were exceptional. Then she added the food kind. The others aren't bad either, Betty, but now I made him blush. Yeah, sure, I love you too. Okay. All right, just a little kiss. Okay. All right, you go back to Daddy. Oh. All right. Yes, he was trying to get out of the doghouse. Okay. Shall we get some crafting done here? Too much information, Alice says. Oh, Brenda told me that too. Okay. Yeah, keep it family oriented here. Okay, let's get, I would ask you how many people are working along since I haven't even made the kits yet. Probably not many of you unless you have this kit already at home and happen to have all the same papers. But hey, a little pressure here. Just a little pressure. All right, let's see, where do I want to start? Let's see where things are coming from. Here's how our cards lay out on our cardstock. We get this one. Comes from here. This one. And this one doesn't have any backers. It could have come from here, but I like the dark background with that one. Okay, so let's just start with that one. Why not? Why not? Okay. Oh, taking notes. I feel like Professor Deb. Oh, Mary R. 3. Thank you, Mary R. Hey, where is Ms. Number 5? She'll probably drop in. Okay, let's see. We're going to begin by covering our card. Look at this beautiful Mary. This comes out of the Fuchsia pack by Crafter's Companion. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful stuff. This particular one has a little scratch in it, but it isn't going to matter the way I'm going to use it. Okay, wrapping Christmas presents with gnome paper and working on your gnome cards. There you go. Patrice, yes, thank you. My sleep-deprived brain couldn't come up with Patrice's name. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, yes. You know what I'm talking about, honey? My numbering system. I told them to give me a number 1. If they're current and doing fine, give me a number 2. If they want me to stop and explain or slow down a little bit. And number 3, we've decided is I'm working on something entirely different, so it doesn't really matter what you do. But Patrice came up with number 5, just finished my brownie. Oh, she's a clown. Oh my gosh, she's funny.
Alice is asking, is the first card going to be a 5x7?
Yes, it is. We will have 3 5x7s and 2 European A6s in this set. That is a good question. Thank you for asking. Yes, it's a 5x7.
Betty gives you a 3-2.
Okay, Betty. I'm using a different pair of scissors today. I usually use my cheap Scotch scissors, as you know. This is a pair of Tim Holtz scissors that somebody on Amazon sent back saying they didn't work right. And they're absolutely glorious. So, you never know. Okay, let's get a piece of our... So I've got my card covered in that wonderful fuchsia, soft, pretty fuchsia paper. Did you guys see these Thursday night? We had a smaller crowd Thursday night. I want to show you these in case you haven't seen it. We have these kits available in the store now, and these just turned out beautiful. Here are the coasters that we made using the Pink Christmas set. Can you see these okay from there? Get over here where you can see. Here's our Pink Christmas set. I don't think my sister-in-law is watching. I think I'm going to give her the Pink Christmas ones for Christmas. Those seem to be her style. And then here's the ones, I'm going to keep these and put them in my house. The Cosmos. Have a round living room, and I think these will be beautiful. Still waiting for the square coasters and square corks to get here, and I'll list some of the individual cork and coaster sets so that if you've already gotten one, you could just buy the image and the just buy the image and the coasters instead of the entire kit. That'll save you a little money. I'm going to go to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 with my cardstock here. And I'm using the black Diamond Sparkles cardstock by Hunky Dory. And check that out, and I think that gives me exactly the borders I want. This fuchsia is so very bright, I don't want it to take over, so I'm keeping my margins fairly thin. I love it, but a little bit goes a long way. Excuse me. Oh, that's nice, Betty, that you're making cards for your church. That's nice. A lot of our folks do that, you know, give the cards to the card ministry at church so they can send birthday cards, and thinking of you and thank you cards and birthday cards and get well cards out from the church. Quite a few of our people do that. I love that. What a nice use for your cards. Perfect. YW. What does YW mean, Kathy? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I'm not worried about my about this cardstock being thin. It's not particularly thin, although I have to say this Diamond Sparkles cardstock from Hunky Dory, well, I don't think much of it for die cutting, to tell you the truth. I think that this Diamond Sparkles cardstock from Hunky Dory for layering purposes is absolutely gorgeous, and it's very soft. It's not real textured.
These can go on here.
Okay, and let's pop our topper out of our topper sheet. We're going to use this nice big one. I should have started by putting my bow together and gotten some best glue ever drying on it, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll get that going. In fact, I actually have a couple of cards to do. I don't know if anybody saw them, but Tattered Lace, I'm probably working under the title Embellishment Attic. I didn't notice, to tell you the truth. Released another set of mini and midi bow makers. I'm going to do, for this card, I'm going to do a 5-1-1-5 bow, guys. If you don't know what that means, let's get signed up for my bow class. And I'll teach you what that means. I'll get another one out there on the schedule. I need to offer that every few months. Tell you the truth, I got to get some bow kits put together before we can do that, because those are sold out too. And I know that I owe you, off topic, are you happy with the Caterpillar? Yes. Best tool in my arsenal, Deborah O'Brien. My Caterpillar. Yes. But Tattered Lace came up with or has re-released the mini and midi bow makers, and I bought lots and lots of them, because they won't have them again before long. In fact, they may not have them already. And so we will have those available in the store for those of you who would like to have a smaller version of this. The comb is actually, I think, I didn't look at them real closely, but I believe the comb has smaller tine, so we'll be able to get some even better, or even different bow types. Yeah, I love my Caterpillar. I have a little video out there talking about the Caterpillar, Deborah. Take a look at that video, because I talk a little bit about the pros and cons. For example, there is one con, and that is that there are no measurements below 1 inch on the Caterpillar and the Caterpillar Pro. It's easy to work under, because quite candidly, how often do you cut something that's under 1 inch that needs to be measured? So that's one very slight disappointment. I'll show you why. There's no measures because you have this steel plate here. But most of the time, if I'm cutting less than an inch, I'm kind of eyeballing it anyway. And there are some little tricks you can use to measure below 1 inch, like using the screw holes. The center of the screw hole is at a ½ inch. So there's some little tricks that you can use to measure under an inch. But, and you need to use it properly, and I will try to remember when I cut the next time to, hi Maria. No, I didn't put out the, I didn't put the listing up, or the YouTube up until last night, Maria. I'm way behind. I already kind of apologized to the group and said, it's because we were working on getting orders out, which was a good thing. And they're all out now, but yeah, I'm not any too far along with stuff. So, yeah, you can pretty much count, unless I tell you otherwise, that we will always have class. Because I'm not going to leave you guys stranded on a Saturday afternoon. That would be like standing you up on a Friday night. I just can't do it. All dressed up and know where to go, right? Okay, let's see. Yeah, so we got some new bow makers coming. And I truly love my Caterpillar. Just the best. Whoa, 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 whoa. Got a little heavy-handed with my glue here, so I'll spread that out a bit. And set that one aside. And let's see, how many cards did I do with the bow here? I got that one. Stop it. And that one. Come on. How could I be just this far in and already have a mess, guys? That one. But I guess, oh, I do have three. I have 3 cards with a bow. Okay, so I'm going to make another 2 bows. One of them I want a 515, both the others are going to be 515s. Yes. Yes. In fact, I was going to do this on a craft day, and I didn't. You can take some black acrylic paint and rub across the numbers, and then come back in with a wet wipe and leave the black paint down in the channel for the numbers, and you have perfectly wonderful readable numbers on the perfectly wonderful readable numbers on the top of the Caterpillar too. I wish they'd resolve that, because we shouldn't have to do that, but they haven't, and it's an easy enough fix. So I got my second bow tied, so we're going to do 1 5-1-1-5 and then 2 5-1-5s. So we're adding an extra loop, long loop, to one of them. Why? I don't know, just because I did it that way. I feel like I should tell you I did it for some great scientific reason. Nope, just because I did it that way. Oh boy. Well, it's good to see you all out there today. Any of you starting to get that cold snap they were talking about hitting the East Coast? Jordan's going to have some very cold weather, it sounds like. She's in Connecticut. Debbie, have you seen the realistic teddy dog Lucky? I saw him on Pinterest and he's adorable. No! What is teddy dog Lucky? Is he like a stuffed animal? Oh, if he is, I probably need him.
No.
Is he a real dog? Well, no. Oh, Alice says yes. That cold snap's hitting it. It's in the 60s in Central Florida. I don't know what it is here. In the low 50s, maybe.
40s. If
In
you're
the
lucky.
40s. Okay. It's been pretty cold at night. Could you get me a Band-Aid out of the bathroom, honey? I cut my cuticle loading a box yesterday, and if I bump it, it gets icky again. I don't want to mess up my card. Hello. I'd put that tape on there if I could catch it. Ooh, the teens and 20s all week in Colorado. Ugh, that's cold. They're saying that Maine might get 18 to 24 inches in one episode coming up.
Which finger?
The one that's all red and icky. Thank you. Look at that. He runs cameras and does first aid too. What a guy. What a guy. Okay. I'll put a little bit of best glue on this one as soon as I find it. Just a little. Only needs a little. Just a little bit. This really lightweight material probably would hold just with my tape because it's just 1/4 inch pink that I'm using, or 3/8 inch pink, organza. It's so very light it probably would hold anyway. Okay. Hi, Elsa. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, Kim, you've got to get in my bow class, because if you can't tie a bow, we are going to teach you to do some fabulous bows, and easily. Right, guys? We will teach you how to do it with relative ease, like everything else. It takes a little practice, but it's not, a skill that takes years to accomplish. Hi, Andrea. Welcome, welcome, guys. Good to see you all out there today. For those of you who are joining us later, if you decide you want to do this kit, it's not out there yet. It's not your imagination, and it's not sold out. It will be out there tomorrow after I do the butterfly cards tonight. I need to get the butterfly cards done so I know what needs to go in the kit. And then we'll have them available for you. Because I'm kind of doing things all backwards this time, but we'll make it work, won't we? What I'm doing right now is I've tied my bows, and I want the loops of my bow to stand out a little bit They, especially with this lighter weight material, they tend to kind of want to collapse together in a little bunch, and I want them to stand out. So I'm putting just a little tape. I'm cheating. I'm putting just a little tape across the back of my bow to get the loops of my bow to stand out individually and just hold them in place so they don't slip and slide. So I cheat just a little bit sometimes with the petals. I call them petals. I don't know, kind of like they're flowers. Hello, Andrea. It's good to see you. This would be easier if my tape would stop lifting with my paper when I peel it off. I've been tearing it in the middle and it still tried to lift off on me. Might be more trouble than it's worth today. And got a nice group out there today. Yeah, I gotta get some more bow makers put up. I've been avoiding that one. It takes a long time to cut all that ribbon, but we really need them, so I need to get those done. Oh, that looks good. Okay, finally, I got my bows tied. Now, by the time we're ready for them, they should be ready. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, set my ribbon aside. Should be done with that for a while, although I will need one more little piece of that. Cap, my best glue ever. All right, let's go. We need this topper right here.
Just which one?
Which is the biggest one off the left-hand side, the big rose. We are going to pop the frame apart in 3 pieces. I'm going to set the frame from the center, the silver frame, aside for a minute. We're going to use that on a different card to make our topper bigger. And I'm going to grab my cardstock, my mirror board here again. I'm going to glue this frame right here, the outer frame, down to my mirror. Come on. Left it open. There we go. There are just a few tools I can't live without. I need my Caterpillar Pro, my bow maker, my needle nose glue bottle, and my Fiskars scissor sharpener. Those are my can't live without tools. Because I can take almost any pair of scissors and make it a good pair of scissors with my scissor sharpener. And I can continually re-sharpen those scissors. In fact, most of the time with my Scotch scissors, you may or may not see it, but I sharpen them before every class, and they still last me for years. Cheap little $5 scissors, and I love them because they're nice and sharp when I go to use them in class. After I use them with my Fiskars scissor sharpener, I can cut ribbon and everything with them. And then they dull out from using them on paper, of course, because we would never use our good scissors on paper. Should have let that dry a little before I started to cut it out because it slid around on me, so now I'll go through and do repairs. Or put it on with tape, one or the other. But now I'll just trim it up again. What are the tools you guys just couldn't live without? Thank you, Elsie. That's a nice compliment. Okay, so I cut that out twice, basically, because I didn't do a good job the first time of keeping it straight while I cut it out.
Thelma has arrived.
What's that?
Thelma is here. Say hi to Thelma.
Hi, Thelma. Hi, Patrice. Anything purple is your best tool, Patrice. I was talking about you a minute ago.
You like the Gemini, the bow maker, the die cutting machine, 10-hole scissors.
Okay, excellent. Excellent, excellent. You know what I don't have here? Foam squares.
How can you not have foam squares? There's a whole
Because-
pile right there.
Where?
And right down top, caddy.
Oh, good. Okay. Your scoreboard, your big shot, and your stamp platform. I gotta add my stamp platform to the list. Yes. Good. Oh, what did you do? I was talking about your number 5, finishing my brownie and our number system. And then I said, hey, where is she? Oh, finger lift tape, another good one. That's a good one, Mary R. Paper trimmer scoreboard. Okay. Yep.
Is your Diet Coke a craft accessory?
Yeah, my Diet Coke. I don't know in what universe that qualifies as craft accessory, but I'd have a hard time getting by without it. I was busy with number 11. Oh, please, share with us. Oh, number 11 equals chocolate chip cookies. Were you consuming them or making them? We're going to have to start keeping a list of our numbers here. There might be quite a few people who are on number 11 between now and the holidays. Okay, I'm putting my topper up on some 2mm foam squares and sticking that in the middle. And now it looks like this. Okay, and I'm going to bring this back in, make sure I know which side's up, and I'm going to see if my bow is ready, my first one, and it is. I can tell it's ready because it has no white left on it, but I better glue this down first. I'm gluing on here rather than tape. Because, oh, foam squares, another good one, Betty. Yep. Everything I have, Betty McSorley says, is my must-have craft supply. I knew I loved you, Betty. You're a woman after my own heart.
Mary R says her little glue bottles.
And little glue bottles are just like gold, aren't they? I love those little glue bottles. You got a SSC gift card today? Oh boy! I am going to find all kinds of things to tempt you with that new gift card. I was up literally all night because I was packaging yesterday, and Brittany was packaging. She didn't get the hunky-dory orders in, and I felt like we had stalled too long enough on that, so I started putting boxes of hunky-dory in last night, and I did 6 boxes of hunky-dory overnight. So I will have new things to show you. Oh, Betty Gozzle says her embossing powder. Yes. I will have new things to show you on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I didn't have What's New Wednesday because we had 27 boxes of hunky-dory here, but we'd been so busy filling orders, we didn't get any of it unloaded. So I started unloading it last night. And there are some beautiful new things in there. You have to wait till Wednesday to see them. Unless you go look at my new listings. If you look at my new listings, you're going to see them anyway. I'm putting my gems on. I'm using 1 large and 2 small of the bright. Did I switch colors? I switched colors midstream. I didn't mean to switch colors midstream. I just did it. Yes, me too, Patrice. Me too. We certainly found ways to tempt you this week, though, didn't we? With those cyber specials. Holy cow, those were some good ones. But I needed to do that to move some product so we could bring in new stuff. Where am I putting my gemstones? I will show you momentarily here. I'm putting 3 at the top in the upper right-hand corner, 1 large and 2 small. And then I'm putting 1 large and 2 small in the lower left-hand corner. And then I'm going to put my bow kind of draping off my frame at the top. I'm going to clip my bow ends into whale tails.
Thelma says her straight line stickers that cover up mistakes.
Oh yeah, those are good, Thelma. That's a good supply. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Okay. You guys have really done a great job of capturing the essence of some of the really good stuff you have to have. Okay, and I'm using the small tag that does not have writing on it, and I'm going to slide it up under my bow as if it were part of my bow, even though it's not. I missed the Purple Light special I wanted. Moved too slow, running up and down the aisles wore me out. I figured you especially, Patrice, would appreciate the whole concept of a Purple Light special, though. Oh, I'm sorry that your daughter, your stepdaughter's down with COVID. I feel bad for you about that. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, this one, for now, is done. I say for now because we want to, I may trim those tails a little bit more. They look a little bit unruly. But I have a few little places that I'd like extra rhinestones, But I want to finish my butterfly kit first and see how many rhinestones I have or which ones to use. So we'll bring those back in later. I'm going too far down, aren't I? Let me come back up here a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. All right. So, I'm glad the poinsettia kit helped you, or the video helped you, Adeline. That's great. Okay, we're finished with our first one for now. I said we might put a few more rhinestones on them, but okay. Next up, let's do this one. This is our next one. Okay. And I'm going to do this differently than I usually do. 9 times out of 10, I will attach my cardstock to my to my blank, and then I will cut around it. This time I'm not going to do that because I want to attach this black ribbon before I put it down. So I'm actually going to have to cut this to 5 by 7. So I'm going to start by cutting out my cardstock at 5. And then I'm cutting the extra off the bottom. And my arm out here to where I can see my 7. So I have a pink strip at the bottom of my card. I cut my 5 by 7 from right here. Okay. And now I'm going to get one of my 5 by 7 cards from my stack that's underneath all this. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to check my size before. And see, I'm a little bit off, so I'm going to trim a tiny bit off my card. I always check that if I'm not cutting around my card. I always check the size before putting my ribbon on. So I'm going to cut, just maybe a 1/16 off, just a tiny, tiny amount, which I can do with my caterpillar just fine. Okay, there we go. That's looking good. The white, if you have white overhanging, it's really going to show with these dark colors. So be sure to check your fit before you move to assembling. Okay. That looks great. Does it look great? Yeah, it looks great. That looks great now. Okay, I'm going to take a piece of my black that's only slightly bigger than my card. It only has to overlap just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on here. Yeah, you definitely don't want it in your house, Mary. Same kind of thing here. I've got my father-in-law here who's had a quadruple bypass, and my daughter who's diabetic, and then I have all kinds of lung issues and AFib, and these are not things we want to get started in our house either. So we are super duper careful. Not to say it couldn't get in anyway, but we're trying very hard to stay away from it. Okay. I'm going to center my black ribbon widthwise on my card. I'm not measuring it, I'm just eyeballing it. You could measure it if you wanted to. I measure very little. Of course, I measured badly. Okay, we'll wrap this around. You don't have to wrap around the back very far, so you don't have to waste a lot of your pretty ribbon on the back side where nobody's going to see it. You just need to wrap it around far enough that it sticks. Now, sometimes I put these up with foam squares. I tried not doing that in this case, and I think it was still okay. And because I did not, if I had backed this with something else, if I'd used Mary or something back there, I definitely would have backed it. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if I can show you how much of a gap I have from my ribbon. I do have a little one, but not much. Let's see if you guys can see that. Maybe in the camera. I don't know if you can see it or not. Try and show you. You have a bit of a delay here, so I have to wait till I can see what I can see. Let's see. Tip it down a little bit more. Can you see that little tiny bit of a gap that I get there? I'm not putting it up on foam squares because I don't have another piece under it and I don't want the white to show. So that's why I did not use foam squares under this. And I'm going to glue this down so that because I'm trying to match on all four sides, I need to be able to move it. So I'm going to glue rather than tape this. Because you know, with our tape, once you put it down, it's down. Don't count on a whole lot of stick from the glue on the ribbon, but I am going to put a little bit of glue on the ribbon. Actually, quite a bit of glue on the ribbon. Just to try and hold that down there inside. Okay. The thing to watch out with masks is, oh. Okay. This black sheds a little bit. It won't once it's trapped inside here, but it sheds a little bit till we get it encapsulated.
Diane McIntyre has arrived.
Hello, Diane McIntyre. Hey, we're holding your order like you asked. I don't know what we said to you on Thursday, whether we said that your order had been shipped. I remember you said that you wanted it held if possible. We're holding it for you. So just FYI. Unless you want us to ship. If you want us to ship, we certainly will. If you still want anything, it's perfect. Okay, there we go. My card face is down. That's looking good. We're going to take our big square topper this time. Once again, we're going to separate the 3 layers of the frame. Thursday classes start at 4 p.m. Diane, Saturday classes usually start at, we can ship? Okay, we'll get it shipped out to you. Saturday classes usually start at 3 and sometimes at 2 Pacific time, so that would be 6 your time. Okay, let's see. Oh, this one goes this way. So I'm going to put some foam squares on the back of here to hold this up as soon as I figure out what I did with them. There they are. Okay. Now what I'm going to do with my foam squares this time, guys, is I'm going to carry my foam squares right up to the point that my ribbon starts. So I'm going to come in a little ways with my foam squares.
$55 is Krispy Kreme on speed dial.
It's no wonder I love you guys. You guys crack me up. So funny. A 55-inch shirts that the donuts are hot. Oh boy. This kit is not yet for sale, but hopefully we'll have it tomorrow. We're doing the kit for next week and for this week at one time, so we can use the same materials for both and save a little money. That's our goal anyway. We'll see how that works, but that's my thought. That, and I'm running behind. But if I can save you some money while I'm running behind, I'm going to do that. Okay, I took my outside frame and I put it down on my card. I ran my foam squares. I put one here on each side and then ran them out to the edges and then put a few down so that it's holding everything nice and flat over that ribbon. Now I'm going to turn this one on angle and I'm going to glue it down. Way back in the day when I used to travel with my corporate job, we didn't have Krispy Kremes out here in the Pacific Northwest yet, but they had them in Chicago where I traveled on business. So I bought my boss, at his request, a dozen Krispy Kremes in Chicago and then had them on the airplane with me. And one of the Portland passengers offered me $100 for that box of donuts. I wanted to sell them to him so bad, but I liked my job and wanted to keep it, so Greg got his donuts. When I told him the story, he said, "Why didn't you sell them? I could have used $100. I'd have sold them for $100. I get the glue in the wrong place. I did. Got the glue all too far in. Here, I thought I was being so clever. Okay. There's our topper. sure it's nice and centered. Now we got to put our many thanks down. Now I'm going to do this differently than I did last time. I just put glue on the back of it to fit on this ribbon. And it's down there solidly now, but I had to put so much glue on there to get it to stick that it kind of rippled a little bit. So I'm going to try this differently this time. Yeah, right. I'm going to... I still don't have that down as firmly as it should be. Get this fixed. Oh, Deborah. Got a little glue where it's going to show. Got to get rid of that. Okay, this time I'm going to put this up on some foam squares and put my glue on the foam squares so that my topper won't get so saturated with glue. And I know it seems counterintuitive to put glue on the foam squares, but that's exactly what we're going to do to get this thing to stick and stay. So I'm going to put a little bubble of glue on each one of my foam squares. And that's going to make this topper stick to the ribbon. I'm going to have to let it sit there and stick for a minute. But that's going to let this stick to the foam, and it's going to not mess up my topper. There we go. Number 2. Would the best glue ever work? Yes, it would. This would be a good job for the best glue ever, Mary. That's a great idea, because it'd get right into the fibers of that ribbon. So yes, the best glue ever would have worked. Let's see, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this is just kind of ripply from the amount of glue I had to put on there. I didn't like that. But standing up actually looks really nice too. So that's 2 done.
You want to show them the first cards, since for those that
Sure.
arrived late?
Yeah, and a couple of you came in later. See this one. Good idea, Bryce. This is the first one that we did today. Am I too far over? I might be too far over.
That's good there.
Okay, so we have 2 done. And we're going to get 2 out of this piece. We're going to take one of our European A6 from this bottom piece, and we're going to take one of our European A6 from this top piece. Both are on black cardstock, so I have a little room to play with here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and I should be fine cutting this to 4 inches and 4 inches. And I'll cut them lengthwise in a minute. Let's go ahead and, you know, you got a good paper cutter when you can cut strips like that, guys. I'm going to get my black card out here, see if I have enough left in this piece, which I do not, but I can use that for something else. Get my black card out here. And just because I want to make the most of my cardstock, And because this is A4 card, I'm going to cut my cardstock this way. Okay, I'm going to cover my cards from here because I should be able to cover both cards from one piece there and still have a whole half piece. Okay, that makes sense? Now sometimes because I'm using every little fraction, I may have to trim my card just a tiny, tiny bit for the second card. But I don't mind doing that because it means I get a lot more out of my cardstock for my money. I mean, theoretically, it should fit perfectly, but just allowing for normal human error in cutting. You can hear that serration and these scissors when I slide them up. Okay, I have a tiny, tiny, ever so slight bit of white showing at the bottom. I'm gonna make that go away. Oops. Sitting on my jewels. Oh, come on. Should have opened it first. I didn't want to cut all those layers at once. Any of you guys ever made your caterpillar jump to track by trying to overload it? I have. I showed you in that video what to do when you make it jump the track. If you do that, there's a really, really easy fix. Don't get discouraged, but don't pull it off the top of the... When I say jump the track, I mean you overload it and your cutter blade jumps up on this metal piece. If that ever happens, do not pull your blade off. You're just, as I show you in the video, you're just opening this screw at the very end, right here. I hope you can see that on camera. Right here on the end, there's a little screw. You'll just take that screw out and lift the rod out and put it right back. Okay. All right. The other thing I said I was going to show you when I was cutting with my caterpillar was the cutting motion. Let me do that when I cut the next piece of paper. I'll try to remember to do that because you want to push the blade assembly against the body of the machine as you cut. What that will do is that will engage the self-sharpening function, and that gives you a clean, clear cut. If you're not pushing it up against the machine, you're not going to get your best cut with this machine. So you want to push the blade assembly against the cutter as you cut. Yeah, if there's a way to mess up a machine, I've done it. I have done it. But this one keeps working for me despite the fact that I have put it through endless abuse. And I've been using this same machine here for, I don't know, it's got to be 2 or 3 years. And that's the longest I've ever kept a paper cutter. Hello, Roberta Clark. How are you, friend? Roberta was the one who shared the glitter and glaze napkin technique with me, guys, that I subsequently shared with you. I'm going to trim this down just a little bit around. Because like I said, when you go to just normal human error, even though it fits, but there's tiny little bits of white around it, so I'm going to trim around it just a tad. Speaking of which, I've been waiting for tags, sentiment tags from Hunky Dory to come in to make more of the napkin kits. Several of you have said you wanted another napkin kit, and I have been waiting for the sentiments to get here. They're here now, so we're going to be putting together some more refill kits for the glitter and glaze. We're going to be putting together some napkin kits, and we're going to be putting together some more of the animal kits. Okay, let's see. So I have my 2 black cards done. Let's do this one because it's super simple. I'm going to take the damask piece, and I'm going to, my card is usually 5 7/8. I trimmed it just a little bit, so that's going to take a little more off. And I want a 1/4 inch margin. So, or an 1/8. Let's see, let's start with an 1/8. I'm going to go to, just a little under 5 5/8 to start with and see how this fits. And then we'll decide from there. Oh, I still have a little bit of white showing. I still got to take a little bit more off. I just didn't take enough off the back, I think. Trim the back. There we go.
Ask, is there a kit, the one that you're working on now? Hasn't heard the story.
What's that?
She hasn't heard the story of why there's no kit.
Oh, yeah, Roberta, we are going to use the same kit for this week and next week, and I'm putting those kits together tomorrow. We are going to combine this kit with the butterflies. This is called the Bejewelled butterflies. We're going to do this one and the roses together because that allows us to double up and use the same embellishment packs, and that way we could use different pretty embellishments. So that was my thought there. And besides that, I'm behind, so I wouldn't have had the kit done anyway, but it's a good excuse, I think. Best I could come up with on short notice anyway. I'm going to trim this down just a little bit more because I trimmed my card and I need to take my dimensions down a little bit more to compensate. I'm going to come in even still a little bit more till I get this right where I want it, just taking a little bit off at a time. Look at that, that's beautiful now. Gorgeous! Okay, I need another piece of my black ribbon. Here's my ribbon. I'm going to wrap that black ribbon around my cardstock. I only need a little bit. I come down here so I'm not cutting into my topper. I only need a little bit to wrap over the edge. Isn't this black ribbon something like this? And even this little piece will be beautiful to wrap something the other way. I'm going to put some tape on here. Enjoy your Zoom call, Stephanie. We did one of those yesterday for Bryce's aunt's birthday in Idaho. So we had people all over the country on her Zoom call. That was fun. Funny the skills we've learned during this pandemic, isn't it? Everybody knows just what you're talking about when you say that you're Zoom calling. Who would have thought we would all get this technologically inclined this fast? We've been talking for, whoops, that just peeled off that ribbon. We've been talking for years about doing live streams, haven't we, honey? And then the pandemic made us do it to survive. I put 3 strips of tape on here just because tape doesn't necessarily want to stick really well to this, and I want it to hold in place while I'm getting everything anchored down. So yes, this would probably be another good job for the best glue ever, but I don't want to wait for it to dry. So I'm taping it. It'll be anchored well once I get the pieces anchored in the back anyway. Yeah, it is a whole new branch in our business, Brenda. In fact, it is the most important branch in our business these days. Since we're not doing on-site classes, this is our class outreach. Okay. Now, if I want to, I didn't get that very straight either. I think I'm going to have to live with it mostly, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to live with it. That's fine. All right. If I want to, I can foam square this up because I have the black behind it. I think just in the interest of time, because we're doing a lot of cards, I'm going to just glue it. But I could foam square it up if I wanted to. I would set, since I'm not using black foam squares, if you're using foam squares, set them in just a little bit from the edge so they're not showing. Hey, you got me on 2 screens. Okay.
Definitely stereo.
So did you guys catch what I said about if you use foam squares under this, set them back from the edge a little bit because you don't want the white showing of the foam squares. Because it'll really show against the black. Okay, get that down there. And then we're going to take our birthday wishes. Now I'll ask you guys your opinion of this. I couldn't decide for sure what I thought of this. First of all, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the part that is laying on the ribbon. Not a lot, just a little. And then I'm going to take some foam squares, as soon as I find them again. And I'm going to put foam squares. Thank you. I'm going to take foam squares and I'm going to lift this topper up on one side. So I've put glue on one side and foam squares on the other, and I'm going to lift this up just a little bit off the edge. Well, actually halfway off the edge, because I liked the way it looked. So I'm going to take this happy birthday And I'm going to put it just a little over halfway up. And I got foam squares holding one side, and I've got the glue holding the other. Now, I know I'm going to use these gems. This is really a matter of personal taste here, though. Whether I really like the gray. I have to admit, I really like the gray. I really like this too, but it's really a matter of personal choice whether you use this line of gems or not. What do you guys think? Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. What do you guys think? With or without the gems? It is a hard choice to make because they're both pretty. It's funny that on camera the colors look so different. The colors are the same. It's just a matter of the light shining on them. I'm going to show you how I did the gems just so that you'll know. But I think I'm going to leave the gems off this time, just so I have the variation. But I will show you how I did them. I took this gemstone tape that you'll have in your kit, and you can cut right up the strips of the different colors. So you can use it as one full tape, like I did on one of the cards we're going to do here in a minute. Or you can cut individual strips, and that's where I got those gems. Betty liked it with, Elsie without. Yeah, you can do either way. Kim liked the gems. Mary R., I think a minute ago, said no. You know, it really is a matter of personal taste. But just clip up. You can get your scissors, use thin scissors, you know, your smaller scissors, and you can just clip right up between those. I can get right in between these rows and just simply clip up to get my individual rows of gems. So it's as simple as that. And these really stay together nicely. I'm really quite pleased with these. This is the first time I've used the Hunky Dory gems, and I'm really liking them. In fact, I didn't order them for a while, and I finally decided that I wanted to try them, and I like them a lot. Okay, so this one, it looks like I used the reddish pink. I still have a few of those left. I could use the pink too, but actually I should have gotten a separate sheet of these so I knew what I had left for my butterflies if I'd have been smart at all, but I wasn't being smart. Well, we'll figure it out. I'll just have to count them off or something. Have to see what I've got left. I still have some of the dark red bigger ones, and I'm going to use one shade lighter on the little ones just to see what it looks like. Oop, that one got picked up without its adhesive. Let go. They do come in purple. Yes, they do. They come in lots of colors, actually. I really do like them. Now, I did something a little different this time. Instead of doing 3 across and 3 across here, I brought the other 3 up this side. And I like the way that looked. Oops. Yeah, I did use the right one, I think. Okay. And then I brought these up. And I like the way that looked. Just little variations. Okay. I'm going to set this aside for now. And maybe next week we'll come back and just use up some of our gemstones on what we have left after we've done the butterflies. How does that sound? Okay, we have this card to do. So I'm going to... My fold wasn't exactly straight on this card. So I'm going to trim this up. A little off on both sides, which tells me the fold was off. Still a little bit off.
Roberta's getting 6 inches of snow tonight. First.
Wow. Wow. Where are you again, Roberta?
Susan's from the UK. It's midnight.
Okay. I'm going to trim this down a tad more because I want this to be roughly, now I've trimmed my cards, so I'm going to want this to be roughly 4 by 5 5/8. But since I have trimmed down the sides of my cards, I know that it's going to be shorter than that. So I'm going to start just a little shorter just to save time. Oh, I like that, though. Look at that nice thin border I have. That's pretty. I'm going with that. Okay. We are going to go ahead and I'm going to take a little piece of pink ribbon. Just a scrap, really, of pink ribbon. Didn't have any little pieces left. I just need a scrap of pink ribbon, and I'm going to come across my card with it. Well, I didn't give myself any too much there, but I really do only need just a small piece. I thought, what 4-letter word did she use? Snow. Oh, you guys. They're funny. Well, Jordan's from here, and we don't get much snow. And when we do get snow, I think I've told you that, a threat of snow will paralyze the city. It's ridiculous how crazy we are about snow. But we don't know how to drive in it. I know how to drive in it because I lived in snow country, but people here don't know how to drive in it. And so it's just as well they close the city down if we get any serious snow. I'm going to wrap this across my corner from just above, or I'm going to go just below the gems and in kind of a comparable amount on the other side. So let me show you where I went with that. I put a piece of tape under it to put it down, and I'm just crossing across. Now I'm going to glue this one down. You guys are too sweet. Thank you. I love having you guys out there. Putting up with crazy me. I went back and watched the party. I really was crazy me too. I didn't care though. It was fun. I agree with you, Kim Greenwood. We buy card products from all over the world. I mean, that's kind of our niche in the U.S. market, is to carry all these European products. And I think Hunky Dory has the best in the world. I really do. I'm getting one of my best glue ever bows. And I'm going to put it right on top of that ribbon that we went across. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I just tie an inline bow and wrap it around? And the reason was because I wanted the tails. I wanted the tails to show. Sometimes I miss them when they're not there. So, and yes, I could cheat a little bit and try and tuck tails under it, but they sometimes just don't look the same. So yeah, I'm not doing a very good job of cutting my whale tails this time. Let's try that again. I'm going to get in here with my littler scissors and do a better job. There we go. That's better. These are big old scissors, these Tim Holtz scissors. They're quite a bit heavier than my little Scotch brand. You'll probably see me using those again. But I had to pull these out and use them just to prove there was absolutely nothing wrong with this pair of scissors she sent back. They're really quite nice for cutting. Just for you, tag up here on some foam squares on the top of this one. I type one hand because Gat's on the other. That's something we can relate to, isn't it, honey? I think I've told you before that we have 3 cats and then Dad has 2, so we understand kitties. We love them.
Well, we're getting some buffering stuff going on.
Not sure if you guys can hear me. My picture's frozen. If you can hear me, we'll be right back as soon as the buffering finishes. I'm just cutting my gems.
YouTube is not receiving enough video. Don't know what to do about it.
Am I still frozen? Am I back? I'm sort of back.
You're half a back.
I'm half back. Gotta love technology, guys. Just gotta love it. Now, am I back yet? No, still not back.
It says yes, you're back.
I'm back now? Nope.
Well, half of you is back. The ribbon cutting is moving. It's moving.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? If the voice is going and not necessarily the picture keeping up, that's okay. Oh, you can hear me? Good. Okay. So last time when I did this, I used the second row over the light pink. This time I'm going to use the more clear ones because that's what I have the most of on my sheet. We can use whatever colors on these we want, right? So I'm going to start by putting down a couple of gems on the right hand side of my circle. You see there's a, well, you will see, there's a little a piece of a line that's on the right hand side. So I'm putting a couple gems over that. Then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to put gems over the left hand side of this line of gems going across here. And I just love the way these little cut lines of gems just fit right on top here. That's beautiful. And you can see what I just did. I just put my gemstones right on top of those lines. Next, I'm going to take some of the gems off my sheet. I have some strays there that are trying to get away. I'm going to take some of the gems off my sheet and I'm just going to cover the gemstones surrounding this rose. I'll use a couple big ones on each side. They won't fit exactly. The big ones fit perfect. But the next size down, you just kind of have to choose the size. You figured as much?
Siri says so.
That was Siri saying, I figured as much. Just out of nowhere. That's funny. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the smallest ones to finish off this row of gemstones. Oh, come on. I hate it when the adhesive doesn't lift with the stone. And then come over here. And if the stone is just a little smaller than the one on the picture, don't worry about that. It's not going to show. It will look great. You could even, I think it would look really nice actually were to data faster, you think? I don't know, maybe just more horsepower behind it will help.
Maybe.
Ho, 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 ho. Why don't you get up and dance, honey, while we wait. Ah, wait! I see. Yes. Things are beginning to move. Can you guys hear me? All right.
I think we're
Okay.
we better finish up quick.
What type of glue do I put in it? I use either my favorite, just because I'm more used to using it, is Cosmic Shimmer. I like to buy the 125 milliliter bottles of Cosmic Shimmer and then fill several glue bottles at once.
Say goodbye to Elsie.
Bye, Elsa. Nice to see you. And when I don't use that, I like to use this art glitter. Those are my faves. Okay. This card's done. Next, and last, actually, last card. We're going to do our last 5x7 using this piece of cardstock and cutting off the right-hand side. I'm going to move along here, so hopefully we can get through before I buffer too much more. Looks like I've stopped again. Oh, but I'm moving again, and now I'm stopped again. Darn.
It says we have excellent string conditions at the moment.
I don't know.
Well, just one again. Dropped good.
Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna try and move this right along here, guys, since our connections are being so unreliable. But I think you should probably know what I'm doing. I'm going to cover my card. Let's see, I wanted this on the outside edge, though. Yes, I do. I want this on the outside edge. So oops, missed a little bit. I'll trim it. You guys know what I'll do with that. Okay. There we go. Got my card covered. All right, and what I want to do now, I hope you guys can hear me at least somewhat. I'd hate to think I'm totally ignoring you. Just making my cards. I'm going to take my silver frame